initial reaction for when I was starting off this episode, I was like, oh, let's go. Oh, here we go. Is this the stuff that we've been wanting to see in Clover? Are we finally going to have them go like those first few episodes? Like, are they going to explode the money on the table? Are we going to finally get that Licht and see why people love Yami so much? Yes and no. There was some weird takes coming out from this episode where there was some gorgeous fucking scenes here and there. Like some of the stuff that they were having with Licht and Yami were like fucking really good. I was like, oh, here we go. This is what we want to see. This is obviously a fan favorite character, and it's like we want to see this kind of stuff going on. And there were parts of the episode where I was like, that looks a little clunky right there. And it's like, okay, we're saving time. Maybe we might be getting that for the third. There's a few things to mention in this episode, and I was obviously very surprised. It's so weird. Like, I was drastically surprised by the pacing was fucking phenomenal. This is probably one of the best paced episodes of Clover, where we just 30 seconds in, there's your recap, there you go, straight in. Don't worry about the whole fucking like we just went straight into it after the whole little magic like recap, and it's like we've seen where the show goes and tries to like take like do the One Piece shit of just like let's just make half the episode fucking recap, and it's like no. Let's do this. Here you go. You know what happened. Licht came. He fucked things up. Thank you. All we needed. All the fucking stuff that we needed. It's like, yeah, you remember last one? There you go. And then fucking Yami busts in with Finroll. And it's like, after seeing like the sister like getting just completely stamped. Like you see Gauch there, like Asta's there, like trying to like, oh, I can take him on, and then get stabbed in the leg. And it's like, no, Asta, this is not an opponent you can deal with. And he's like, his whole idea is like, I think maybe if I like hold my my sword in front of my face and use it as a shield. I'm like, no, please don't let that be a tactic that works. No, please don't. And it isn't. Thankfully, I remember that in the manga. I'm like, oh my god, this guy uses fucking actual light and light speed. It's like, no, that's stupid from the start. And it's like, oh, Asta realizes immediately, I'm dead. No, I'm dead. I can't win against this. This is something I'm clearly not experienced for. And who comes in? Good old Captain Yami with the blade. And it's like, alright then. There's something up with you. You are a special little cherry pie right here. What's going on with you? You look familiar. I was like, there's a nice little nod. Like, I really like that a little bit. It's like, you look familiar. Like, what's up with that? Like, and you see like Licht kind of go, what? There's a little bit of like his eye twitches a little bit. Like, what the fuck are you talking? What are you talking about? And I was like, that's nice and all that. I kind of like little moments like that for Aussie for the manga and all that. So like, they like the fact there's like these two seem to have a history sort of like it's kind of left in the wind a little bit, and you see as he like trying to pull like singling out where it's like he generally cares for his comrades. Like whenever he was crying when like he saw Sally getting hurt, he was crying with Valtros, which by the way, good luck fucking remember that name. I could never remember the name of that fucking. I always called him evil teleport fucker, but it's like ETF. I normally used to abbreviate him, but it's like yeah, no, you get to see him like pretty much fight with Asta this entire like match, while Yami is just having this match where it's like, let me show you what a captain can actually do, and Asta, let me teach you that there are other ways than just magic. Because you see like Yami's whole special thing is that what he specializes in is obviously with Yami leading up to his name, you see he focuses on dark magic. He like mainly in his blade, like where it's like he just coats his sword in his blade. He makes like slashes. Basically, he uses like a gets to go 10 show. That's the best option that he has on there, where it's like I focus on melee, and he is pretty much the most closest thing to a magic swordsman, to a magic knight, where it's like this is the person that Asta wanted on his side who can teach him about this kind of stuff, where it's like, let me show you how to work this out. And it's like finding out a little bit about his past, that like clearly his like whole name Yami, like Sukahiro, is like, no, he's straight up came from Japan. That's his whole deal, where it's like, I'm glad they didn't drag it out. They didn't just try and like go through it. It's nice to when Clover just goes through stuff and it's like, yeah, this is good pace. Yeah, I want to fucking see this. Let me see more of this. And it's like nice, short, and sweet. You get to know that he's a foreigner, that he came from a distant land. He used to be a fisherman, and then pretty much he was like, all right, then these guys are being super racist and horrible to me. I just beat the shit out of them, and it's like I took over. Established. we find a little bit about what's going on with Licht, and finding out that he describes his people as these people blessed with magic, and that they were revered, they were like kind of like gods to people, and people got fearful and they got terrified, so they tricked them and murdered them. That's all we know at the moment with that. Obviously this is going to be a little bit more explained later down the line, which is kind of obviously hard to separate the manga and the anime from this, but even from then I was like, really? That's it? We're not going to explore a little bit more about that? Because clearly, but it's a whole huge thing of hatred where it's like, there's been some really dirty stuff that the Clover Kingdom has done, which it seems like Julius doesn't want to talk about, or any of the other people, where it's like, yeah, they're responsible for a lot of things, like this war isn't one-sided at all, and it's like, okay, there's something clearly going on, and you don't know more about what the White Knight Eyes, or the Eyes of the Midnight Sun particularly want with this. It was like, why do they have such an issue with everything? And it's like, okay, that's the reason why. So that gets explored, which was something I was like happy about, and hopefully we get more. And then he decides to go and teach Asta in the middle of combat, which is a bit stupid, but then again he's like slashing, and he's like, look, let me just tell you real quickly about this shit known as Ki. This shit is good. It's pretty much, I was like, oh god, is Asta gonna get like a different pool of magic, but this is the thing he's going. It's like, no, it's more something that he already knows, and it's teaching him to use his senses a little bit more. It's like using what Ki kind of is. It's life energy, so no, he's not gonna be there like firing Kamehamehas and shit like that. It's more using your spirit, using like sensing around, using all 5 senses to kind of improve your heightened senses. So like he was able to use this to like sense when for like the breeze and stuff like that, when Valchvos was using one of his like magics on that to fire back the projectile and blast him. Like this is sort of, well, it's still a thing where it's like kind of, but it's like you notice little bits here and there that Asta's using that, and like Asta's clearly got heightened strength, he's got enhanced senses that he's worked on, because since he hasn't had the chance at all to ever use magic in his life, where it's like, so I work on my body, I'll work on my senses, I'll work on skills that I do have and use to enhance that. So it's like, okay, I'm really glad it wasn't like it's just a power up in like the anime and the manga. It's like, it's more just like, this is something you already kind of know, it's just putting it into fruition and being a little bit more, improving like your overall senses and shit like that. So generally that's kind of how I treat it, and this ended up treating with Lee going one step beyond and pulling out like a light whip and just attacking everyone. And there's definitely a little nod where like Valtros even mentions as well, where it's like, Lee, you shouldn't even get involved with this and that. Do you want me to call in the third eye? Which is like, oh, I wonder who those people are. And it's like totally not shown at all, other than the opening, who the fuck the third eye are. And it's like, yeah, no, and clearly with the preview they show a little bit, which a thing to mention as well, they didn't show off the little stupid little chippy shit, which I've never been talking about in like the whole episodes, because at the end of the day they're just so much take away just nothings to me, where it's like, yeah, they're there. I didn't care for like when like Twin Stars do. I don't know what it is, but I think they like Perialt just does this now. Like it doesn't seem to be a thing in the Ghoul. It doesn't seem to be like in there. But I definitely remember like Twin Star. At least the bits I watched that had shit like that. So it's like, why? Like it's honestly like it's the weakest part of the show next to its pacing. Like it honestly is. It's like, I know they're supposed to be funny, but a lot of them are like coming off as like they're honestly like nothing. Like little filler text for the most part with them. Which, one thing to make on this episode, there were 2 soundtracks in this, which I'm pretty sure I've heard one of them maybe once, but one sounded completely new when Yami was fine. I'm like, holy shit, this is good. This is a good soundtrack. Like, it's the thing I always keep raking on the series for. It's like, no, I'm hearing good 2 soundtracks right here. Good. Give me more of this kind of music and all that, especially for the end. And it only took 30 fucking episodes to get something that's better than like the main theme and stuff like that. And obviously where Clover has excelled really in its openings, and its endings have been hit or miss with the exception of the first one. It's like, this is the thing where it's like, no, I need a good soundtrack to also help me get immersed in the shows. And I'm glad to finally see that it took over half the fucking series run to get some good tracks in here. And it's like, I am very curious about who the composer is to this sound. I'm gonna have to look that up at some point. It's like what the other one is, because like it's the weakest thing in Clover. It definitely is. I can wholeheartedly say that like even with it, like its story fucking fumbles, the worst part of the show for me has completely been its soundtrack, and then it's been this like the pacing. So overall, yeah, I'm kind of curious to see what people thought about this episode. I really did like this one, and coming from someone that's been like really fucking horribly nitpicking this series all the way through, and it's like we're getting to the good shit, It's like, no, we're finally there, and they're improving it. I love some of the animation that they're putting on there. I'm gonna be, since I'm so picky with the show, it's like I kind of wish some of it looked a little better here and there, but then again, I can't complain where it's like, no, we're finally getting some good shit now, so I'm happy. And then with next week as well, I'm very excited with that, and it's like, yeah, no, this is the leader right now of like the Midnight Sun. It's like, let's have a look at them and let's Licht assure dominance on people, and that's what I want to see. This is get those wannabe, one-timey, shitty fucking villains, and let's introduce the real villains into this one. So I'm happy about that. So that's all from me. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you guys next time.